Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find our Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will be getting daily, weekly and monthly current affairs on regular basis. You can use code VIKAS10 to get additional 10% discount while purchasing the course. This video is available both in English and Hindi. The timestamp for both English and Hindi are mentioned in the description of each video. You can contact us on the number provided or mail provided. Also follow us on Telegram and Instagram, and the link for the same is provided in the description of each video. Also students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for defense topic for November month. The session will be quite interesting and important, so stay tuned with us till the end as we will be discussing important current affairs here, right? Also students, we upload the daily current affairs video at 5 am in the morning. Weekly current affairs, monthly current affairs and topic wise are uploaded regularly so that it helps you in your learning. First question is, where was the 31st edition of the SIMBEX exercise conducted? SIMBEX is your Singapore India Maritime Bilateral Exercise. So where was this held? It was held in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Next thing, remember, this was the 31st edition of this exercise, and in this INS Shivalik took part from Indian side. Right? Take a note of it. And it was held in two phases. First is your harbor phase and another one is your sea phase. Next, name the seventh vessel in the anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft series that was recently launched by the Indian Navy at L&T Kattupalli in Tamil Nadu. So it is by the name Abhay. Right? Abhay is the seventh vessel in the anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft. The project here, it aligns with Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is Self-Reliant India initiative, with over 80% indigenous content. The fifth and the sixth anti-submarine warfare, they are, sixth is your Agrah, and sixth is your Akshay, and seventh is your Abhay. Next, which company's LM2500 marine engine has recently been chosen to power Indian Navy's next generation missile vessel? It is GE Aerospace. Take a note of this. It will provide 6 kits of this LM2500 marine gas turbine engines will be assembled and tested by the Industrial and Marine Gas Turbine Division of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Next, which company has recently developed an innovative handheld anti-drone gun by the name Vajra Shots? This Vajra Shots was developed by Big Bang Boom Solutions, and it has been developed and it has been deployed in the Indian Army and Indian Air Force, and they shoot down drones up to 4 kilometers range. Next, who has recently launched two significant initiatives, that is the third edition of Acing Development of Innovative Technologies Challenge and the 13th Defense India Startup Challenge. So who recently launched them? They were launched by Rajnath Singh, our Defense Minister. Apart from this, Aditi, right? Remember this Aditi 3.0. This full form can be asked, that is Acing Development of Innovative Technologies. Next, where was the 15th edition of exercise Vajra Prahar conclude scheduled to be conducted from 2nd to 22nd of November? So this exercise will be at Idaho, USA. Take a note of this. Next, name the exercise between India and Indonesia held from 1st to 12th of November in Jakarta, Indonesia. The name of that exercise is Garuda Shakti. Right? Next, name the exercise between India and Vietnam conducted from 4th to 23rd of November in Haryana. It is Winbex exercise between India and Vietnam, right? Winbex exercise. Next is, in which state DRDO conducted the first flight test of long range attack cruise missile? It is Odisha. It is Odisha, and this is the new variant of the Nirbhay LRLACM. Next, which organization has recently handed over the authority holding sealed particulars of P7 parachute systems to the Directorate General of Quality Assurance? It is DRDO. Next, name the high intensity tri service exercise conducted by Indian Army from 10th to 18th of November. Name of the exercise being Purvi Prahar. Next, where was the third edition of the India-Australia Joint Military Exercise Ostra Hind conducted from 8th to 21st of November. So the exercise being held in Pune, Maharashtra, right? Ostra Hind. Next, name the space tabletop exercise that was recently conducted by Defense Space Agency in New Delhi. It is Antriksh Abhyas. Correct? Next, who has or which country has recently received two water jets propelled fast interceptor crafts from the Indian Navy? It is Mozambique. It is Mozambique. Next, name the multi-barrel rocket launcher weapon system that has recently completed flight test by DRDO. Name of that multi-barrel rocket launcher is Pinaka. Important, take a note of this. This test involved 12 rockets that were tested here, and this Pinaka will replace GRAD BM-21 rocket launcher for the Indian Navy. Indian Army, not Navy. Next, name the multilateral annual joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise that was conducted by Indian Army from 18th to 19th of November in Gujarat. Exercise being Sanyukt Vimochan 2024. Right? Take a note of it. Next, in which state DRDO has recently conducted the flight trials of India's first long-range hypersonic missile. So the test for the same was conducted in Odisha, and the missile carries a payload of over 1500 km, enhancing India's military range, also developed by DRDO. Next, name the indigenously developed machine pistol that was introduced by the Indian Army. So it is ASMI. Correct? ASMI is the name of the machine gun pistol that was developed by the Indian Army. Correct? Take a note of it. And this was designed and developed by DRDO, inducted into the Indian Army. Next, name the Pan-India Coastal Defense Exercise conducted by the Indian Navy in two phases. Name of that exercise is Sea Vigil. And this exercise conducted in two phases, sea phase and the harbor phase. Next, which type of unmanned aerial system is to be manufactured in India by JSW Defence Private Limited in partnership with Shield AI? That is VBAT drones. And here, this initiative will foster the support for large-scale production of the VBATs in India to function as a global hub for Shield AI. Next, where did the National Security Guard conclude the 10th National Joint Counter-Terrorist Exercise by the name Exercise Agni Pariksha and the 8th National Joint Counter-IED Exercise Visfot Kavach? So where did this National Security Guard conclude the 10th edition of these exercises that were concluded in Gurugram, Haryana, also the headquarter of International Solar Alliance, and these exercises was held between 3rd to 16th of November. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to some revision part. Next, who was recently awarded the Honorary Citizens Award for his outstanding contribution to Singapore and Singapore-India relationship? That means to enhance relationship between trade and other sectors between India and Singapore. Tarun Das was recently honored or awarded with this Honorary Citizen Award. This award, Tarun Das, if we talk about him, he is the former Director General of CII, that is Confederation of Indian Industry. This award was presented by the President of Singapore, Tharman Shanmugam, and it was at a ceremony that was held in New Delhi. Also, Tarun Das became the second individual to be honored, or second Indian to be honored with this award. The first Indian was late Ratan Tata ji in 2008. Next, which of the following are correct with respect to the ACC's appointment in January 2025? If we look at the option, all these three options are rightly mentioned. Next, in January, which counter-drone system successfully test-fired India's first guided micro-missiles developed by the Economic Explosives Limited, EEL. So, name of the counter-drone system is being asked. It is Bhargavastra, right? Bhargavastra. This is the name of the counter-drone system that was successfully test-fired, right, and developed by EEL, that is Economic Explosives Limited. right? This new micro missile system, it is developed for Indian Army, and it can easily hit a target almost 2.5 kilometers away, right? This is a counter drone system, right? That means if a drone or aerial threat is there, it can fire 64 missiles at once and take them down. It is cost effective and it is surface to air system. Next, DRDO, they have successfully conducted the flight trials of NUG Mark II, that is an advanced anti-tank fire and forget guided missile. Where did the trials take place? See, this fire and forget means it will have a track of the target, right? And if the target moves, this missile will also change its direction accordingly. So this is your fire and forget. This is an anti-tank system, right? So here DRDO, they tested this NUG Mark II, that is an advanced anti-tank fire and forget guided missile system. The trials for this took place in Jaisalmer, Rajasthan, right, in the Pokhran field firing range, Rajasthan. Next, who has been recently conferred the title of Sangeeta Kalanidhi 2024, right? So TM Krishna was recently conferred with the title of Sangeeta Kalanidhi by well-known researchers and author David Shulman. Correct. Also remember here, Prasala Ravi and Geetha Raja, they were conferred with the Sangeet Kalacharya title here, right? Next, which among the following countries is not a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council in January 2025? So India is not a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, right? Our term officially ended, that was of 2 years, ended on 1st of January 2025. The other countries that have replaced India, they are Ecuador, Japan, Malta, Mozambique and Switzerland. And this United Nations Security Council, it consists of 15 members, the non-permanent members, and 5 are the permanent members. Which are the permanent members? United Kingdom, France, USA, Russia and China. Next, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has issued guidelines for the implementing components like payment security mechanism and central finance assistance under the Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. Question asked is, what is the corpus fund allocated under this scheme to reduce investment risk in the RESCO based grid connected rooftop solar modules for the residential sector? So simply asked is, what is the budget or corpus that has been, or the fund that has been allocated for Prime Minister Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana? So 100 crore rupees has been allocated here. Next, which organization did the Ministry of Defence recently sign 2,960 crore rupees contract for the medium range surface to air missile for the Indian Navy? With which organization it will be? It will be with Bharat Dynamics Limited, right? Bharat Dynamics Limited will be supplying this medium range surface to air missiles to the Indian Navy. Next is dash and special rupee Vostro accounts can be used by the non-residents to settle the legitimate transactions with other non-residents in Indian rupees as per the new rules introduced by the RBI in January 2025 to promote the use of Indian rupees. So, special non-resident rupee account, right? That is special non-resident rupee account and special rupee Vostro account. These two can be used by the non-residents to settle the transactions with other non-residents in Indian rupees. Correct? Take a note of this. Moving on. Next, which company recently launched the second multi-purpose vessels of the Indian Navy named INS Utkarsh from its shipyard in Kattupalli, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, designed for the maritime surveillance? So, which company it will be? It will be L&T. Here, remember INS Utkarsh, right? It was designed and developed by L&T, right? And it is the India's second multi-purpose vessel. Correct? Take a note of this. What was the first multi-purpose vessel? It is INS Samarthak. INS Samarthak. Next, which of the following satellite constellation was recently launched by Pixel? That is a space company based out of Mumbai, Maharashtra, right, marking the first private satellite constellation designed to capture the data across more than 150 spectral bands, right? So name of this constellation is Firefly constellation. It is launched by Pixel, right? It is a constellation of satellites. It was launched using the SpaceX Transporter 12 mission from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, USA. Next, which of the following banks has recently added new features to the CBDC applications Digital Rupee designed to assist people with the disabilities, especially in the visually impaired? So it is Union Bank of India. They have added the new features to CBDC. Here the new features are your gesture based navigation and your voice over compatibility. Next, which state has recently announced a 3-year sponsorship deal for the Indian national Kho team with an investment of 5 crore rupees annually from January 2025 to December 2027? It is Odisha state, right? Take a note of this. 3-year sponsorship deal from the Indian national Kho team. The Kho World Cup was recently held in India for the first time. This was the first ever edition of the Kho World Cup, and both men's and women's team of India has won the title here, or won the World Cup here. Next, Dash and Dash recently joined as the members of the World Economic Forum Global Lighthouse Network for driving manufacturing transformation through innovation. This Global Lighthouse Network, this is basically a group of organizations that focusing on the manufacturing, enhancing the manufacturing using innovation. So recently it is CEAT India and Hindustan Unilever Limited. They both have been added to the network of the Global Lighthouse Network. This Global Lighthouse Network was an initiative of World Economic Forum that was launched by them. Right? Take a note of it. Moving on, Dash edition of the La Paros 25 multinational naval exercise involving Indian Navy and 8 Indo-Pacific nations is being held from 16th of January to 24th of January. So it is which edition of this La Paros exercise? It is the 5th edition of this La Paros exercise that is being taken place. This is an 8-day long exercise, right? It is organized by the French Carrier Strike Group and it began on 16th of January and it will continue till 24th of January.